Take a look at this so dull it probably shouldn't even be an image. It shows the portion of my Twitter account illustrating the content parameters that Twitter will follow, well, more or less, in deciding what I see, what my followers see, when, and how. Well, ready for something you should never need to think about but do? It's time for a quick chat about social media content parameters. Most of the information managed by Twitter's brand of social media content parameters is not that interesting until you think about what the choices actually represent. Where am I, or where's the information I'm most interested in, and how I feel about either seeing or redisplaying racy content? That's pretty obvious. Do I want video formatted files to play automatically? Well, I don't know anyone who would leave that one turned on, but, well, that's the point, right? Auto-played video is universally despised, even if there's automatic audio in there, well, especially then. And then we get to that timeline parameter. Social media timelines are often misunderstood. With over 1.5 billion people using Facebook every day, well, you'd think you couldn't still find people who don't know that what shows up there is a small subset of the things their friends post, even if the ever-growing volume of advertising that's pushed in there should make you understand it. But you've been seeing only a portion of your Facebook network's information since before we published this post 6 years ago, and yet somehow I still encounter people who believe that what they see on Facebook is everything their friends publish. Now give that a bit of thought, and you realize it can't be correct. Keeping up with the entire volume of cat and food pictures alone just isn't possible unless your social network is limited to a couple dozen people. But at Twitter, social media content parameters have always been different. If you scrolled back far enough, you saw all tweets that all the people you follow posted, and yeah, they were mixed in with advertising and things like that, but you could get to them. Now, this means, of course, that you very likely see almost none of what the folks you're supposedly interested in following have to say, especially if you follow lots of people. It's also the reason that we recommend most people don't do the follow everyone who follows you thing, even if it does result in a larger follower base for you. My favorite example of this is my most influential Twitter follower, Barack Obama. Along with 600,000 or so others, think about that, President Obama follows me and has pretty much done so since the moment we started using Twitter here. But with 70 million followers, that number looks pretty small, right? And yeah, of course we know that President Obama's professional account, plays in a different league than pretty much anyone, and it's likely that the big man has no interest in what I say. But still, good management of social media content parameters means you need to be selective in who you follow on Twitter, and that idea scales. Bringing us back to the Twitter timeline feature. A couple of weeks ago, Twitter flipped on a curated content feature that, unless you were paying attention the next time you logged in and opted out of it, gave Twitter even more control over what you see than it had before. Think back to the point about Facebook users not even realizing that it's been done to them pretty much forever, and you might think that doesn't matter. But if you use Twitter to keep up with information you actually consider important, this feature ends you. And given that Twitter is a tool used all over the world to break actual news, well, that matters. Remember the social revolution in Egypt a few years back? What if Twitter had been helpfully curating content for the folks at news services back then? Now, here's another lesson about social media content parameters. Just a few days before they did the old content switcheroo, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey responded to rumors on this subject by saying it wasn't true. And this turned out to be a lie. Not only did Twitter throw the curated social media content parameter switch, but in fact the timeline for that switch to Twitter's timeline turned out to be exactly when Dorsey said it wasn't happening. And I could have let this one go on the grounds that the switch, opt-out though it was optional, until Mr. Dorsey got trapped in his own contextual carefulness. Well, trust is becoming our lingua franca, and social media renders that a bit more true every day. Jack Dorsey has lost mine probably forever. Now, I bear no illusions about whether he cares any more than I believe Bill Gates or Barack Obama really see very much of what I write. but I care very much about what you think. And of course, the real point is that you need to care what those who follow your words think about you. It's not a big deal, right? Just keep up on your social media content parameters and you are golden. Yeah, okay. Want a hand with that? I'm the Answer Guy, and I'll be back.